Hi guys, Julian here at Script Reader Pro. Today we're going to look at 3 ways to come up with the coolest titles ever. Coming up. While you've probably heard a lot about how the first page of your story is the most important when it comes to first impressions, it's not. It's actually the title. When your script lands on the desk of someone important, like a manager, producer, or executive, the very first impression they form of your script is from the title. Here are a few examples of bad screenplay titles. Those that are too close to an existing movie title. Kill Phil, While You Were Napping. Too simple. Hope, Missed, Conflict. Movie titles like these give the reader an immediate signal that you're not sure what you're doing, before they even had a chance to read the first page of your script. Great writers choose great movie titles, and needless to say, your script's title needs to be pretty great. Not just good, not just okay, but great. How do you come up with great movie title ideas? In this video, we're going to break down how to write a movie title from a screenplay into 6 main areas. So let's dive in. A good way to come up with a great movie title is to consider what the core essence of your story is. What is it really about? What's the core conflict? What's the overall emotion you want to convey in your script title? For example, here are some famous movie titles that perfectly fit the material. Blade Runner, Citizen Kane, Eyes Wide Shut, Jaws, Pulp Fiction, The Truman Show. In each of these cases, we get a sense of the genre and the movie sensibility because the movie title speaks to the core essence of what it's about. The title signals what's at the heart of the movie and what makes it stand out from the pack. 3 screenplay title templates. When trying to come up with a name for your screenplay, you want to make sure it conveys the core essence of the story. A good way to do this is to consider a potential screenplay title from 3 different angles: characters, location, situations, or feelings. Yes, some movies have great titles that don't fall within these parameters. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, for example. But we'll discuss these later in the video. Let's take a look at each one in more detail. The first option is to simply name your script after the protagonist, antagonist, stakes, character, or some variation of who they are and what they're about. Here's a list of some of the best movie titles using this formula. Atomic Blonde. Lauren is the protagonist, the subject of the title, but it also encapsulates her style, personality, and strength. Probably a better title than the actual movie. Baby Driver. This movie title encapsulates Baby's name and occupation in a nice play on words. Creed, short and punchy, pun intended. Guardians of the Galaxy. This movie title focuses on a team rather than just a single character and screams sci-fi, action, and adventure. Just what the movie delivers. The Hateful Eight. Another title about a group of characters and another great use of rhyme. This is extremely effective and is used in a lot of the best movie titles. An equally effective option is to name your screenplay after a prominent location in the story. These can be either general or specific, as well as the real names of places or made-up titles given to places. Here are some popular examples from recent movies. 21 Jump Street. If you're adapting a script from existing material, as in this case, the process of coming up with a cool movie title is often taken off your hands. Nevertheless, this is a great example of an eye-catching use of story setting to give a sense of genre. Bridge of Spies. Rather than simply extract the name of the script's main location, another good option is to zero in on a place where something significant happens. Dunkirk. 3 perspectives of the Dunkirk evacuation told from the land, sea, and air, all in one simple title. La La Land, a more melodic, memorable, and catchy way of describing the city that provides the setting for Mia and Sebastian's romance and musical dreams. Finally, you may want to get the core of your movie's essence through the characters' feelings or the situation they find themselves in. These type of movie titles offer much more scope to intrigue the reader. Here are some examples. Darkest Hour. Not much room for intrigue here, as the story is based on the true life events surrounding Churchill's refusal to make peace with Hitler before the start of World War II. A fantastic summation of conflict, feeling, and situation nonetheless. Don't Breathe. 3 teenagers break into a blind Gulf War veteran's home, trying to rob him, and they become his prey. What's the perfect phrase that encapsulates their situation as they creep around the house, trying not to make a sound? Don't breathe. Get Out. Much like Don't Breathe, this title acts as a warning to the protagonist, and is an intriguing call to read the script and find out just who wants to get out of what situation. Trainwreck. A wonderful metaphor here for Amy's life in general, as she shuns commitment in favor of drinking too much and sleeping around well past her college days. Wild, a short and clever movie title with a clear double meaning which nods at both Cheryl's past and her present as she treks through the wilderness on her way to redemption. Great movie titles that break the mold. Of course, not every movie title fits into one of these 3 boxes. You're welcome to come up with whatever title you like and break the mold. Here are some unusual and famous movie titles that managed to pull this off. Bring Me the Head of Alfredo Garcia, Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Good Will Hunting, The Men Who Stare at Goats, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. How to find out if your movie title ideas are any good. Bear in mind that if your screenplay gets bought and produced, the title may be changed down the road before it hits the big screen. This doesn't mean you should just use any old script title that comes along. Movie title ideas should be tested before deciding on a final one, and here's an outline of how to do it. Come up with as many movie title ideas as possible. Try to write a list of at least 10. Edit the list down to your top 3 screenplay titles. Make sure you have a character-based, a location-based, and a situation-based idea in there if possible. Get feedback from people you know. Show these 3 titles to your writer friends, acquaintances, family members, etc. and get them to rank them in order of preference. Give them the logline too, so they know what it's about. Repeat the exercise with strangers in order to get an impartial opinion on their favorite titles. Post the titles to websites like Stage 32 and other screenwriting forums. We'll put them in the description below. Ask professional readers. If you get script coverage on the completed screenplay, make a point of asking if the reader can give you a note on the title, and we'd be happy to do this if you purchase one of our script coverage services. This exercise will give you a solid idea of which movie script ideas are working and which aren't. And from here, it's just a question of refining your titles and finally picking the very best one for your script. Just a note on working titles. Don't send out your script to a manager, executive, or producer with the caveat working title. You need to own the screenplay title you pick. But adding working title in brackets gives the impression it's a work in progress, like you haven't yet formed a solid idea of what the story's actually about. Screenplay title page format, best practices. Some people insist that the script title should always be written in caps, or always underscored, and so on. In actual fact, no one cares. It doesn't matter whether you write the title in uppercase or lowercase, or whether you underscore it or not, or wrap it in quotation marks or not. All that matters is that it's centered 4 inches from the top of the page, and like the rest of the screenplay, is written in Courier 12 point. If you co-wrote the script, simply add an ampersand in between your names. Putting "and" instead indicates that one of the writers was brought in to do a rewrite on the other's work. In conclusion, be careful when picking a screenplay title. As a screenwriter, you're a connoisseur of words, and so whatever title you pick should reflect this. It should give a taste of the conflict, genre, and essence of the story the reader will find in the script. It should also ideally display a sense of your way with words. Screenplay titles are generally bold, witty, and usually short summations of the entire movie. Alright guys, we hope that this video helped you come up with a screenplay title that serves the interests of the story and gives a great first impression. Also, we'd love to know your opinion. What are some of the best movie titles out there? What makes them great? And how do you come up with an awesome screenplay title? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, if you'd like your script read by a professional screenwriter, check out the link in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to be kept up to date with all our new screenwriting techniques.